What's going on, everybody? I'm Harry, and with me, of course, is the self-proclaimed king of the world, Edward Dawes Dooley.
Good to be here.
Dawes.
After a week off.
A week off.
Sorry.
But we're back
Sorry.
and ready. His fault. One of the best directors, it's arguably the best. One of my
For
favorite.
you, one of your favourites.
Yeah, one of my favorites and one of the most. It's very arguable that he's the most influential director. He died
in his genre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He died last week, age 72. It's, of course, the horror mastermind Wes Craven. Died of brain cancer at the age of 72 last
Rest in
year.
peace. Yeah.
Yeah. He did some of the major hits as Last House on the Left, Hills Have Eyes, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Scream. He also did a movie that came out in 2005, Red Eye. Movie with Rachel McAdams and Cillian Murphy, which is, I think it's awesome. But I just want to focus on his two major ones. Like, sure, Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, very good. But I want to focus on Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream.
It's probably best known for those.
Exactly, yeah. Because he revamped that genre of horror twice. He reinvented it twice. Like, so the idea of Nightmare on Elm Street is so unbelievably creepy. Like, it's still so relevant today. It makes you afraid to go to sleep. It makes you afraid to turn off that light before you head to bed. And what he created with Freddy was awesome. Like, did you know where the idea of Freddy Krueger came from?
Well, the idea, no.
So the name Freddy Krueger was like a bully that he bullied him at school. And the idea of the look of him is this really creepy. It was in a documentary that was focused around it that came out just before the remake did in 2008 or something, or 11.
Yeah.
11. It's like 5 years ago. 2010, I think. Where Wes Craven, he like looked out his bedroom window down to this alleyway, and there was this creepy guy in like a Christmas sweater, and he looked up at him, and he walked away from the window, and he went downstairs, opened the door, and he was just staring at him. And that's like what got the idea of Freddy Krueger. It's really creepy, isn't it?
Weird, yeah.
But
that's real weird.
what happened? Like he directed and created 2 of the Nightmare on Elm Street. He produced all the other ones, but like they just put his name to it.
And how many have there been? Have been like 4 plus the remake, or
There's been like 8 altogether.
Wow.
But the problem with it, 9 including the remake, I think.
Oh, right.
The problem with it is that the first one, he's so unbelievably creepy. But after that one, they turned him into a comedian. They turned him into a guy, including Freddy vs. Jason's 10. He turned him into
It's become a parody of themselves,
exactly.
Yeah.
He turned him into a guy that's just, he's not scary at all. And then that was in 1984. He created him, and then there was like 7 sequels in the next 10 years. And then in 1994, he came back with New Nightmare, which basically he came back, created, basically putting to people saying, this guy is scary.
Yeah.
And he brought back the horror to it. And it was actually really good. It wasn't as good as the first one. It was really good.
It's a solid film. Yeah.
Exactly. But, you don't know as much as I do, because I'm more of the horror fiend than you are.
I've seen the Screams.
Yeah. Which will go on.
I'm pretty sure I've only just seen the first Nightmare, which, luckily is the best one.
Yeah.
But, and I don't see myself seeing all those other crappy
No, they're just...
sequels.
You know that they've remade it, right? Have you seen the remake of Nightmare?
I don't think so,
It was terrible. No. They're remaking it again. They've already remade it, and that was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Oh my.
They just don't. But, so Nightmare was a big part of, me getting into horror.
It's got its own cinematic universe now.
Exactly.
Much, I mean.
But, the movie that introduced me to slasher movies, that made me fall in love with slasher movies, is Scream. Scream in itself, I think the first movie is a perfect film. It's hilarious. People are going into that thinking, it's going to be a cheap...
That's one thing, like you say, Freddy becomes he himself becomes just a comedic element in those movies. But Scream does comedy and horror really well.
Scream...
They mix it.
Scream is a satire, basically. It's a satire of, the characters are stereotypes of stereotypes.
Yeah.
There's the stoner dude, there's the nerdy guy, there's the... you know what I mean, the jock and everything like that. But the movie knows it, and even better, the characters know it. Like the character of
they break the fourth wall to an extent. Yeah, it's
the
cool.
The character of Randy, which he's my favorite character in the whole series. He died in the second one, but there was still the scene in the third one. There was
I thought he died in the third?
Second one.
Oh, okay.
Second one. It was the one where Cindy was at college. How he said the rules of the horror film in the first one. He goes, there are rules in horror films. First rule, never have sex. Sex equals death. Rule number 2, never do drugs or drink. Kind of correlates to the first one. And number 3, never, under any circumstance, say the words, I'll be right back. Because you won't be right back. And it's just, it's a satire of itself. And, like, these, in horror movies, like 80s horror movies and 90s horror movies, people are given the illusion that these characters don't watch horror movies at all. They're not familiar to the quirks and croaks of what they are.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But one of the first lines in Scream is, what's your favourite scary movie? He says to the Drew Barrymore, the victim.
Oh, it was Drew Barrymore. That's classic.
Yeah. And Drew Barrymore was the head cast of that film, like, advertised as. So people didn't think that she was going to get killed.
And that would have been an awesome twist, just having her killed off immediately.
I watched them all a couple days ago. That scene still gets me. Like, I was watching it, and in my head, I was like, she's going to die, I know it. I was like, she's so close to, like, letting her parents know. Just, like, she can make this. She can make this. Yeah. And then she gets killed. Like, it's all... I reckon...
Poor Drew.
Yeah. Personally, I reckon the series dips in Scream 3. Like, I think the first two are awesome, especially the second one. Like, the first one's, of course, the best one, but the second one, it introduces this idea of a movie within a movie. With the the creation of the Stab franchise.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. It's like a parody of a parody of a parody. I really like that. Then Scream 3, it kind of like became too much of a satire. Like it punched you in the face with like, there's movies in this movie that's about what actually happened. How they had the cast of the Stab movies like go along with the actual characters and stuff like that. That was kind of where it dipped.
Yeah.
And the killer that found out in 3 just wasn't that good. But then Scream 4 came out.
Which was like almost a good 7 years or something, just a good time later.
It was 11 years past.
Wow, yeah. Well, there you go.
It was 2000, I think, was Scream 3. And then,
2000?
2000 was Scream 3. And then 2011 was Scream 4. And I don't think we'll get another one because that one bombed in the box office. It's a shame because it actually was really good.
I don't remember Scream 4 as well, but if you say it was better than 3.
Oh, it was a lot better than 3.
Okay,
it was a lot better than 3.
It's too bad, but I mean, 11 years later.
Yeah, they brought in these two characters that are kind of like for fan service about Randy. These like two like film buffs, like how they know so much about horror films and stuff like that.
Oh, righto.
And it's just awesome. Like they just keep making a parody of what they are, which is what I really like about Scream. Mm-hmm. Like, in the second one, they start talking about sequels and stuff like that. How first rule of sequels, never fuck with the original. It's awesome. And
well, we know how often that's broken.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, but they're like, it can be argued. Empire Strikes Back, but these movies were just so. Scream is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Scream 1 is my favorite horror movie. It's done to perfection, and if they remake it, I'll be so upset. You can't remake it because it completely defeats the purpose of Scream, being a satire of these reboots and stuff like that.
I think it's probably safe because, as you said, 11 years later they did.
Yeah, it didn't go as well. It's because I think the slasher movies are out of date now, unfortunately.
Yeah, plus that name doesn't exactly have the same recognition it did 15 years ago. But that's not to say we won't see more slashers.
Exactly.
I don't think that's dead, personally, but... yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, to Wes Craven and to all the Craven fans out there, we salute you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. Thank you for Scream. He is the man that screamed about his nightmares, dolls. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.